has just dropped, clearing Trump in the latest Epstein files drop. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Okay, so ABC News has done some deeper investigation with the latest Epstein files release. Oh, this is great. And the file that was released, the name that cleared Trump and said that he turned him into the police, was one of the first to call the police about Epstein. They were redacted in the Epstein files, but ABC News is reporting who the redacted person was, and it's a former police chief in Palm Beach. So now, not only did the Epstein files clear Trump in the latest release, we have the name, which I'll get into on the main stream today in the studio, taking your calls. And it's a former Palm Beach police chief who is the source in the files that said, yeah, Trump got the hell out of there and turned Epstein in and told us to go after Maxwell. So this is it. You know, you trolls out there that have been demanding the release of the Epstein files, well, they're out. And Trump has been cleared, not just by the files, but by the beach police chief. So this is going to be great. So the phone lines will be open when I'm in the studio this morning for all of you trolls who call in and apologize for all the slanderous things you said about the president over the past several years with the Epstein files. I mean, you know, this is, be careful what you wish for, guys. You wanted the files, you got the files, and we're getting more and more information. This is what we knew. You know, we knew Trump did nothing wrong. And now we have documentation. Not only do we have documentation that clears Trump, it's the documentation that the liberal trolls have been demanding. Oh, I support Trump. I voted for him 3 times, but the files, all that bull crap. Well, we got the files now. So there you go. And I will gladly take your calls on this, but I will tell you this in advance. You use the word pedophile, you're gone immediately. So don't use that word. It's an inappropriate word to use, and I'm not going to allow that word to be used. So you use that word, you're gone. Unless it's me telling you can't use that word. The P word. Oh, man. But, you know, MAGA people, we knew that... Now we know why the Autopen Biden administration didn't release the Epstein files, because not only do they clear Trump, the source that clears him is the police chief. So it doesn't get better than that. Oh, man. The police chief that brought him to justice, that brought Epstein to justice. When will they learn? Trump is always right in the end. No matter what happens, you know in the end, Trump is going to be cleared and shown to be right. That's just, you know, Trump is a squeaky clean Marine. I'm all choked up, waiting for all the sob stories of the apologies from the trolls calling. Now, if you are new to my channel, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. On my next stream, I'll be live in the studio taking your calls about all of this, and you're certainly welcome to call me. Oh. Yep, America is greater again. Absolutely. With the greatest president ever, Donald John Trump. Welcome, everyone. You know, the Trump haters will never learn. They just will never, ever learn. You know, Trump, not only is Trump a squeaky clean Marine, he's one of the squeakiest clean Marines that have ever lived. I mean, to have the fame and wealth he's had his entire life and lead such a moral life that he has done is very unusual for men, you know, especially in New York City, celebrity wealth circles. But he did it. That's great. Yep. Well, you know, what are they going to move on to next? What'll happen with the trolls is they won't. I predict they won't let this sink in. They won't let this sink in because they can't. Thing that counters their delusions. But we'll see. We'll see. You're welcome to call in and apologies are accepted, but no use of the P word, guys, or you'll be gone instantly. Just a heads up. But I would like to have some real discussions about this, and for me to do, I have the stream already set up. You can see the thumbnail there for the show this morning. For me to have a title and thumbnail with Epstein and see, a lot of people, they do that story just because, views and clicks. I do things when there's news. This is not only a major development in the Epstein case and the files and Trump, this is probably the biggest news development in that case in many, many years. Many, many years. And I don't know. Doc from Texas called in and apologized for his use of foul language the other day. Remember, he called in, he apologized. He got upset, he used some profanity, and he called back the next day and he apologized using the foul language. So at least that liberal was apologizing. So maybe others will be too. Oh. Yep, America is greater today. Yes. We'll find out. We'll find out, Chuck. Will they apologize? That'll be it. I've got a lot of other things to cover too, but this is going to be my lead story, and I probably will recap this story at least once an hour on the show today because it has to be heard by everyone in the audience. Now, those of us that are MAGA people, we're not surprised by this. Because we knew. We've always known. The liberals, on the other hand, they did not. Yep, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? Dark MAGA mode is engaged. All right. But so just to recap, a document from the Epstein files just released totally clears Trump, and it was an interview with someone whose name was redacted. They said that Trump saw what was going on. He immediately turned Epstein into the police, and the redacted person said that President Trump was one of the first to call and turn Epstein in. And then ABC News, and by the way, all this is on my X, Brian Craig Shaw on X, all the documentation. And then liberal Trump-hating ABC News, where Stephanopoulos is and all those Trump haters. The View is ABC News. ABC News did an investigation and uncovered who the person is. And the redacted name, the redacted person that clears President Trump in the latest Epstein files release is the former police chief of Palm Beach. So not only is President Trump cleared, he's cleared by the top guy in the department that brought Epstein to justice, the Palm Beach police chief. He was the chief at the time. So it doesn't get better than that so far as credibility. And I will be taking your calls on this today, so you're welcome to call me on the show today about this. And liberals are, who have been demanding the files are now out. You're very welcome to call in and apologize to the president live on the air for your slanders and commend him for releasing the files so that we can finally get the truth out there, which is, according to the police chief who brought Epstein to justice, President Trump was one of the first people to call them and alert them of Epstein. So there you go. There you go. Yep. On the next stream, I'll be in the studio taking your calls. The apology line will be open throughout the show. The apology hotline. Yes, the number's easy to remember, 888-465-2631. Write it down. I won't answer if you call now because I'm not in the studio, but 888-465-2631. Write it down. And you can call me in an hour and apologize to the President of the United States. Apologize and commend him for releasing the files. And ABC News, got to give the devil their due. Trump hating ABC News gave us the story too. So there you have it. And I like it that we've got, the sources of this story are, first the source that the Trump haters demanded, which is the files. So the primary source is the Epstein file itself. And then the second source that I have is a liberal source, ABC News. And remember, The View is part of ABC News. George Stephanopoulos is at ABC News. So they hate Trump at ABC News. And ABC News, liberal ABC News, is also reporting it. I like to share these from their sources. If the article were in Breitbart or Fox, they'd say, oh, that's Breitbart, that's Fox, you can't trust that. So we've got the primary source of the Epstein file themselves, and then Trump-hating ABC News. So that's pretty good sourcing. It doesn't get much better than that. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to get my coffee. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell. On the next stream, I'll be in the studio taking your calls. The apology line will be open. You are welcome, you liberals out there and Trump haters, to call in, apologize to President Trump, and commend him for releasing these files, all right? My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk.